Hey, get the right one. Hello, how you doing? My computer seems to be lagging. I don't know if you noticed, but on the stream starting soon screen there was a lot of lag. So hopefully I will keep moving and I won't lag. Hopefully it was just a problem with the opening animation, but we shall see. I appear to be alright so far. I haven't frozen on the screen yet. If I do freeze, please let me know in chat, and then I'll just sit here and sob, I think. Anyway, how are you all doing? Hope you're alright. Welcome to Saturday Squirting Live. So we're gonna just spend some more time on this that we've been doing in the last couple of streams. I can't get this camera to zoom out far enough, so I'll use this one. That's how far we've got. I've played with the face a little bit. I'm happier with the face now. It didn't look much like the model before, so I wanted to play with it a bit more. If I switch cameras so you can look at her pretty face and not my ugly mug. There we go. Although it's very contrasty on that camera. So all I've done is I've added more shadow, emphasised the shadow on the cheekbone a bit there, darkened up the eye like in this corner here, it was too flat, added more shadow here, darkened down this whole side of the face a bit, and then used the scalpel just to bring out a little rim light there. Got the little divot in the top lip because her top lip just looked flat, and used the scalpel to scratch a little bit off of the lip there, and I'm much happier with that now. That's all looking good. I think the neck needs a bit of work. Her neck just looks too tubular, if you know what I mean. So I'll be having a play with that at some point, but for now we need to get this part of the wing done. Now my light source is coming from the top left, so this part of the wing technically will be pretty damn bright. So where's my airbrush? I've loaded up. Before I was using Trident. I've gone and run out of Trident, which is great. So for this one I'm using CreateX Illustration Black and their reducer, and where this is really light I have only added 1 drop of the black, 2 drops of the reducer, and some water. Not as much as normal. I've only, probably can't get it on camera, but I've only half filled the paint cup there, so it's not massively over reduced like I normally do. So somewhere around here I've got some stencils, he says. Not organised at all this evening. You can tell, can't you? Okay, so yeah, I've got my paint very, very light. Yeah, that's coming out on camera, that's alright. Because it's so heavily reduced, it allows me some leeway. I can cock up and it won't show up quite so bad. I'm not going to go nuts and put in all the feathers, because like I say, it's going to be pretty damn bright on this side. So just going to leave the impression that there's some feathers there rather than actually paint them all. Do not know you could use water with the illustration colours. I've always just used the reducer. Yeah, I don't know how it would work on tanks and like bike fuel tanks or cars or anything like that. So use it with caution. But on paper, canvas, all that lot, they're water-based paints. You stick water in it, it's going to reduce it. I've never had a problem with it, let's put it that way. Although I do live in a hard water area, there's a lot of chalk in the water down south here in the UK. So I've had it where I did a fuel tank many years ago, just with some barbed wire around it, and the sun beating down on the tank. Obviously the tank got very hot and it made the chalk in the water crystallize underneath the clear. It's a very weird thing, so to be careful if you live in a hard water area. Like I say, on paper, canvas, doesn't matter, you're not going to clear coat it and you're not going to leave it set out in the sunshine, but if you're doing a car or a bike fuel tank or something, it's worth bearing in mind. Hopefully you can see that all right. Yeah, cool. Only trouble I find, and this could be because my illustration paints are over 10 years old, is they just don't flow as nice as the Trident. Like I say, it could be because these bottles I've had since 2010, but they just don't flow as nice as the Trident, I find. What would you use? Demineralized water? Yeah, definitely, mate. The only reason I use tap water is because it's free. Have I gone off camera there? Yeah, I have a bit, haven't I? There we go, that's a better angle. So obviously where the wing is curling round, there will be a bit darker down the bottom here. State of my nails. I'm all covered in black paint. I went to sort out my airbrush earlier, found out I left paint in it from last week's stream. So I had a frantic strip down and clean just before. That was clever. You get a lot more tip dry, I find, as well, with the illustration ones. But like I say, it's probably because they're over 10 years old. Just getting rid of a little tape mark I had there. So what you guys been up to since last stream? Anything exciting? Let me know in chat. I've not done much, just been doing the regular day job, drawing all over people. So there you go, you get the idea where I want it to kind of look a bit glary so that the sun's really shining on it and kind of reflecting a bit. I'm not doing all the little feathers, I'm just doing a suggestion of the shape of some of the feathers. That'll give it the illusion that it's really bright and the light's hitting it and reflecting off. I hope. I'm kind of making it up as I go along, really. What paper am I using? This is I don't think I've got the pad here, but it's just some thin airbrush paper. It was given to me at the last airbrush convention I went to. I think the name begins with B. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's just very thin, smooth Bristol board type stuff. It's quite nice. Although it doesn't hold liquid very well, so like my paint is very over reduced, so if I go too heavy with it, it absorbs into the paper and then you have all sorts of trouble. So it's definitely worth working in light coats with this paper. So you see, because I got it so drastically reduced, let's zoom in on that bit. You see, I'm not getting anywhere near solid black. I mean, that's quite heavy there, and that's as dark as it got. So it gives you, keeping it massively over reduced gives you a bit more security. You won't go too dark. To get solid black, you have to go over it again and again and again. Or even in this case, I'd have to add more paint into the paint cup because it's just not dark enough. I'm also not doing any stenciling on this bit for the outline. On all the rest of it, I cut out bits of paper and then sprayed inside, and it gave me a nice crisp edge on all of it. On this bit, because I want it to look like the sun's glaring on it, I'm purposely not using a paper mask to mask off the edges to give me a crisp edge. I'm freehanding it to give it that kind of out of focus look, and this wing is supposed to be bent towards the viewer, so technically it would be out of focus a bit as well. Just laying down some shadow just to give it that look of curving, but being careful not to go as dark as there, basically, because you want that bit to look like it's in the distance, this bit to look like it's in the foreground, so this bit needs to be brighter than that bit. So if I shaded this the same darkness as that, it would look flat. Is she one of your models? She was. I haven't spoken to her for a couple of years. But yeah, I've done loads of shoots with her over the years. COVID stopped all photo shoots, so as you can imagine. So I haven't spoken to her in a long time. Hope she's doing all right. I don't think she's uploaded anything to Instagram for quite a while either. I think she kind of fell off the planet. Let's have a look. If I can spell her name properly. Yeah, she hasn't uploaded anything for over a year now. She might have jacked in modelling. I know a lot of models gave up and had to go find day jobs, so. From the last time, I had a look what number my CR Plus has. 7317. Oh yeah. What was mine? I don't know if it'll focus. Mine's 6437. She's an old girl. H&S do some cracking airbrushes. I've also got their AL Plus, the little aluminium one. Cracking stuff. The detail you can get with that as well is quite astounding. Always liked Harder and Steenbeck. Going off camera a bit again, aren't I? Tilt that up a bit like that. Perfect. ICR Plus is 1671. Wow. Wow, you've got an old one, mate. Hey, crikey, mine was... When did I buy mine? When I first really got into YouTube, I suppose. So mine's got to be... Crikey. 15 years old, I guess? Yeah. Yeah, must be about 15 years old, that. Spent many an hour with that in my hand. Still do. I find quite often if I'm doing like stuff like this, monochrome portraits or whatever, I'll have black in like the Iwata and white in the Harder and Steenbeck, because they can both do the same level of detail. Although I do find that the trigger on the Iwata is much more responsive, but that could just be down to wear and tear on my H&S. Got it in 2013. Must have been old stock. Maybe. Yeah. That is my first one, isn't it? Yeah, I've only ever owned one, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah, I've only ever had one Infinity. Yeah, so it's not a case of restocked it. That's why all the plating's come off. Because she's so damn old, bless her. She's going to go back to brass at this rate. So there you go, keeping it fairly loose and random. Trying not to go too dark. I've got to darken up here a little bit so it balances out with all this lot. This lot's darker than there, so a little bit to do on this little bit here, but try not to go too dark. Like I say, keeping it loose with the freehand, not really using a stencil so that it looks like it's a bit out of focus. So here and there you can have ones like that one there and that one there that have got a slightly darker shadow on them. It just makes it look like they're sticking out further than the rest. Helps to add a bit of texture to it. A bit like when you're having a bad hair day, you know, you're having a bit of hair that sticks up. Well, she might be having a bad wing day, and there's a couple of feathers that are sticking up, you know. Yeah, evening Lee, nothing worse than a bad wing day, exactly. I hate it when my feathers stick out. Still on camera, aren't I? Yep, good. Makes you fly in circles. I hate it when things stick out and they mess with your aerodynamics. Have you heard from Clive lately? Do you know what? Clive was on here, was it last week, the week before? Yeah, he popped in to say hello. I believe he's flying the air ambulance over in Ireland, I believe. He doesn't hover over my house in his helicopter anymore. The neighbours used to love that. Always gave me a giggle. My son loved it as well. Whenever he was flying over, he'd see if he could get permission to just hang around for a sec. And if he was allowed, we'd just hear a chopper and it wouldn't go anywhere. It'd stay hanging around, and I'd be, like to my lad or my missus, I think that's Clive, and we'd go running out in the garden, and there he was, and he'd like hover there, and then he'd dip the nose like that, and then he'd fly off. It was really cool. All the neighbours were like, "Do you actually know him?" I was like, "Yeah, he's my friend." Forgive the tap dancing in the background, it's my dogs. Hopefully you can see this on camera alright. I'm going so light it might not be showing up. I caught him on an RC forum and he said he can't go anywhere without bumping into me. He said he'd moved and flying the air ambulance. Yeah, I believe it's Ireland he's doing it. Bless him. He's the one who I got all these illustration paints off of when he was jacking in airbrushing. Blame the dog who have long toenails and doing the soon Yeah. It's the dog honest. I thought if I got a directional mic, then it wouldn't pick up stuff like that. So I brought a directional mic I've got just off camera up here, and it's brilliant. It is directional, but it's so sensitive it picks up everything else as well. I'm waiting for the day I'm streaming and the husky's having a dream or something and he starts howling in the background. That'll be fun. Right, so I'm pretty happy with it down here. I need to darken up down there ever so slightly, but I'm going to have to put more black paint in the airbrush to do that because this is as dark as it goes. So that's all cool to there. That looks cool. We need to lighten. Do we need to lighten? No, we need to darken up that a little bit there. Don't fart. Yeah, I can't get away with any farts. You'll hear them straight away. Although the chair I've got is terrible. we're getting a bit spitty. Why are you spitting? A little bit tip dry. But he's huge now. I remember when you had him. He is a behemoth, mate. Aren't you, Marshall? You're massive, aren't you? He's how old is he, Kay? He's 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7.
Yeah, he's 7 years old now. Even that little girl you used to see in my YouTube videos is 15 now.
Don't forget about Brandon in your Halloween video that you made a while back.
Yeah, you appeared in more of my videos than Brandon did.
What
Was
about
that?
the I Like Bananas video?
Yeah, I think I took that down. I think you moved the compressor. I remember it went off sometimes many years ago. Yeah, if I switch cameras, hello. My compressor is over there underneath that desk. There she is. You can just see the green motors there. So yeah, she's over that side. I used to do painting over there, but my computer is in this corner and my USB leads wouldn't reach all the way over there, so I kind of had to come over here for the live streams. I sometimes paint over there, but yeah, that's where the compressor is. Poor old girl. She's getting pretty old now as well. I don't know if the tanks rust out and you have a possibility of them exploding or not, but that compressor's got to be a good 12 years old. Never missed a beat though. Done me well. I remember seeing a video on Facebook once of a body shop, and the guy's compressor, the tank gave way because it rusted through, and it blew him clean out of the workshop. Still got that Ghostbusters? Yeah. Oh yeah, I've still got that baby. Although that's my second one. The first one I made, I had to sell because the kids wanted food and stuff. So that is my second one. I haven't had to sell that one yet, although it did get quite close last month. Good old January and everyone being skint. There you go, compressor's just come on. I don't know if the mic picks it up, but it's a brilliant compressor, it's so quiet. Highly recommend them. It's the old Bambi BB50D, which basically means it's got a whacking great tank and 2 motors on it. It was about 600 quid when I bought it, but that was many years ago, so it's probably different now. Skin January, yeah. Yeah, is it ever? Spitting a bit there. That's better. Okay, pretty happy with that. This bit here needs some work though. Right, so now I've got to go a little bit darker, so I've probably used about half of my paint that's in there. Watch me spill it on myself. So all I'm going to do is just add another drop of that in. That should do it. A whole one drop. These paint cups are really handy as well because they're the perfect size to just stick your thumb over the end, and then as long as you don't pull it out of the airbrush, just give it a shake to mix your paint up. It's really handy. And no, I've never sprayed the paint anywhere doing that, honest. Right, let's see how dark that is. Yeah, quite a bit darker. So that works well. So as I was getting quite close to that tone there with here, I'm just darkening up the bottom of these. Right. Honest, Kenneth. Yeah, that looks cool. Yep, liking that. So with this darker one, there will be bits that will have very dark areas. So like in that little gap there, and in that little gap there. I think I'll get that evil lesson when they mess up too close to the artwork sooner or later. I get way too close. I mean, I'm short-sighted, but I have a tendency to look over my glasses, and I'm like right here sometimes. I do the same when I'm tattooing. I'm like resting my chin on the client's face, you know. Don't know what it is. I just don't like looking through my glasses when I'm drawing or painting. But of course, I need it to see everything else. You know, if it's more than a foot and a half away from my face, I can't see it. So I keep my glasses on, but I tend to look over them like the old disapproving teacher, you know. Right, this is where less is more is the phrase. Because if you go too nuts with this darker one, it's going to darken everything down, and you don't want that. We just want the odd bit of darkness. Well, some bifocals. Yeah, I always associate them with old people. I'm only 44. I can't have those. I'll say only 44. Feel 90 most days. Spruverse, hello mate. Mate, I love your orca. That came out so cool. Spruverse in chat here, people. If you like model making, go check out his channel. He does some awesome work. He's just finished a model of the orca from Jaws, and it's superb. I was on Wayne's stream, mate, but I was lurking in the background. I was busy working, so I didn't jump into chat and say hello. I would look so damn classy with a monocle. Yeah, yeah. Monocle and a pocket watch. Right, so it's actually quite useful having this on the screen, because you know the thing they say where if you're doing a painting, take a picture of it and look at the picture, and sometimes something that you wouldn't normally see in real life screams out at you on the picture, and it's very much the case. It's like I keep looking at the screen over there and seeing where I need more shadows. See, like in person I was thinking about putting some in here, but then when I look at the screen it looks fine, so I need one up there and that will just about do it. Or they say you can spin something upside down and anything that's wrong will scream out at you. Just like changing your perspective, so looking at it, either a picture of it or spin it upside down, or also taking a picture of it and flipping it so it's backwards. That especially when it comes to human poses, if you flip it and it looks odd, then chances are it is odd and needs a bit of work. Do I need one there? No, because the light's coming from up there, so there's going to be bright. And we don't want too many sticky outy feathers, because that would just look odd. We need something up here though, because that's a very crisp edge. It doesn't look right. So all I'm doing up here, let's show you. Zoom. All I'm doing here is, that looks too crisp. So where this is very, very dark, I'm just using the airbrush just to go around that edge, just to give it a softer edge. Like this. And I've got a blockage. Bit of tip dry, I think that's the problem. Adding more fluff. Exactly, I like that. I'm going to steal that. We need to add more fluff. Less hard edges, more fluff. There you go, it's not got a hard edge now. It's fluffy. So let's zoom back out. And give you all motion sickness again. I nearly turned my camera off. Oh, I did. Whoops. That's the trouble with having the button right there. There we go. Phil, this is a Iwata Custom Micron CMSB. They're quite expensive. They're meant for like serious detail artwork. For the stuff you do, you'd probably get away with a regular Iwata. You wouldn't need a custom Micron unless you were doing crazy little details, like, you know, little, I don't know, buckets or stuff that are about this big. That's cool, I like that. We'll do that all the way across. I like the way that looks. Yeah, cool beans. Okay, so now I'm going to down the airbrush a bit, and I can put it in its stand without dropping it on the floor. That'd just be my luck. Drop my airbrush live on stream and bend my needle. Trusty scalpel. Now, if those are going that way, Eclipse CS would be perfect. Yes, it would. Yeah, my first Iwata was a HPCH. And that did me for excuse me, that did me for many years, that. And then, yeah, I think I got a CS. Then I got my Harder and Steenbeck, and then a few years later I got the Infinity. Like I say, the Harder and Steenbeck Infinity and the Iwata Micron I feel personally can both do the same amount of detail, no problem. The only difference between the two is that the trigger on the Iwata is much more responsive, in my view anyway. So, see what I'm doing. Yeah, they are brilliant workhorses, mate. They just keep on going. Come on, camera. There we go. So there you go. You can see what I'm doing here. I'm just scratching some texture into this bit. As you can see, there's lots of precision in this. Not. And then once you've done that, obviously that's too bright. So then you go back in with your paint. If I can find the end of my air hose, there it is. And you just knock it back a bit. Just like that. And then of course on the top edge they're going to catch the light slightly. Like you say, mate, slightly curve the lines. Not too many, just a couple. Yeah. That looks pretty damn cool, I think. Zoom out again. Give you a little wiggle. And pan you down a bit. Okay, again. Take care, Lee, mate. Thanks for popping in. Take it easy, mate. So that might do that, you know. What we got? 9:13. Oh my goodness. I should have finished 13 minutes ago. The missus is going to be home any second. See, I got so engrossed. So, that's worked out quite well actually, because I think I finished that wing. So if I go to that one, hello, because I can't get all this on that camera. There we go. That's how far we are. I reckon that looks quite cool. That wing has the brighter part in it. I think I've got to add some shadow on. Oh no, camera's backwards. This shoulder here, because the wing's going to be casting a shadow, isn't it? So I'll have to add a bit of a shadow there because that shoulder is too bright. But yeah, it's looking good. I think I've rescued this one because I wasn't liking this before. I thought I'd fluffed it up big time, but no, I think it's saved. So anyway, I've got to go and put the kettle on before the wife gets home. Thanks for watching, and I will be back again 8 PM Greenwich Mean Time next Saturday, and we'll do some more on this. Alright, so take it easy guys. I've got to find the little end stream button, and there it is. So yeah, take care,